They've been out of school for a week. Why buses still can't reach all households in Estill County.
Volunteers hope to use an annual homeless count to help a vulnerable community.
We can all use a better credit score, but trying to help it may hurt you in the long run. 3 things to look out for coming up.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening. Most of the snow from last week's historic winter storm has melted here in central Kentucky, but that is not the case in many areas of southern and eastern Kentucky.
We already have nearly 30 school closings and delays for tomorrow. Many school districts have been out of class for more than a week. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner went to Estill County to see firsthand why buses have been kept off the roads. She has our top story at 5:30.
Well, number one priority is safety of our kids.
Estill County schools have been closed for a week now.
She built a snowman, but she's over the snow now. She's just ready to go back to school.
The sun is out, snow melting, and parents are ready for the kids to be back in school.
It's not good for the kids, you know, that lapse in education, and they're going to pay for it one way or the other. So to me, I would prefer that they did what Madison County did, and, you know, they do the work at home.
Sometimes our judgment may not be the same as someone else's, but I can promise you that when we make decisions on whether to go or not go, the number one priority is being able to get those kids to and from school safely.
Estill County plans to go back to school Thursday, but rural roads have been the ongoing issue. This road behind me here is one that Director of Transportation Arthur Ballard mentioned still is not suitable for buses to travel on.
Our biggest issue is turnarounds, you know, because we run so many roads that we run that are dead ends. And or we run to a county line.
Luckily, very few treacherous road conditions remain. Those who live on roads not yet safely accessible will have to walk a little to meet the bus driver. In Estill County, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Estill County will finally return to class tomorrow, but the school district is operating on a 2-hour delay. Well, the good news in all of this, we are in for some more milder weather heading into our weekend.
Sounds good to me. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell has a first look at a forecast that has some higher temperatures.
Yeah, we go likely into the 50s by the time the weekend gets here. Now, the next couple of days are going to stay right around normal for this time of year, what you'd expect in January, and even has a very small chance of some more snow shower activity that will sweep through the area. Look at our RPM model. I mean, calling for less than 1/10 of an inch in most areas. You get to eastern Kentucky, though, where they have been having more of those issues, and you do see a little bit higher of a total, maybe 1/4 of an inch, maybe up to a 1/2 inch, certainly a possibility. That's something we'll watch for as we move forward, but most of us stay nice and quiet, just like this scene right now in Lexington. Look at the live sky cam, sun setting just out of the frame. Right now, 33 degrees with a feels-like temperature also coming in at 33. Nothing passing through the area on our Defender radar network at the moment. Staying nice and quiet out there, at least until tomorrow night. So as we head through the evening, I think we hover around 31 degrees, especially after the sun sets through the evening hours. Overnight tonight, notice the sky stay generally on the clear side. Temperatures down into the mid-20s. And then tomorrow, the first part of the warm-up before it gets interrupted with an issue on Friday with those snow showers. 43, though, so a milder day coming at you. Then we go cooler on Friday. Then we're in the warm stuff on Saturday, Sunday, and beyond. There's a chance we see 60s next week, too, guys. We'll track all of that coming up in just a few minutes.
It is a terrible scene. Investigators remain on the scene of a deadly house explosion in Adair County tonight. This afternoon, we learned that state police confirmed they have now recovered the remains of all 4 victims who died in that explosion and fire. Investigators say that 2 of the bodies were recovered outside the home and 2 were recovered inside. And there's still no word on what sparked the explosion at the home on M. Coomer Road, about 5 miles outside of Columbia. We'll have much more on the investigation and the victims ahead on WKYT News coming up at 6 o'clock.
The bodies of 2 victims have now been recovered from a Pike County home destroyed by fire. Kentucky State Police say the bodies of an elderly couple were retrieved from the home. They're working to identify them right now, but family members say the home belonged to Ross and Dixie Dameron, and they have not talked to them since their house caught fire yesterday.
He taught me how to play guitar, and we played in the yard, and I mean, done a lot of things together. We come here after school every day. My mom was working a lot.
The bodies have been sent to Frankfurt for positive identification. Officials do not know what started that fire. State police are warning people in southeastern Kentucky after 2 robberies involving elderly victims. Both cases happened Monday in Letcher County. State police say a woman in the Colson community was robbed in her driveway. A little later, another woman was targeted in the parking lot of the Whitesburg Rite Aid. In both cases, the suspect description was a man wearing a camouflage jacket driving a small red 4-door car.
A woman pled guilty yesterday for the death of her 2-year-old daughter. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Whitley County. Trina White was set to stand trial today for the 2013 death of her daughter. Instead, she pled guilty yesterday to second-degree manslaughter. White's boyfriend, Mark Hayden, was sentenced last year for causing the death after an autopsy showed the girl had died of blunt force trauma and asphyxiation. White will be sentenced on February 15th. In Hardin County, police have identified a man shot and killed this morning. 22-year-old Wendell Jones was reportedly shot just after midnight near his apartment. Emergency crews attempted to treat him, but he died at the scene of a single gunshot wound to the chest.
So just a little bit after midnight in regards to shots fired. Officers arrive on scene. EMS arrives about that same time. We find one victim down in the 600 block of Westport Road.
And neighbors describe Jones as a quiet man. No arrests have been made yet in that case. And in Laurel County, a woman was arrested for being intoxicated and causing a disturbance on a Greyhound bus. Officers arrested 35-year-old Tanji Hyde of North Carolina early this morning on Interstate 75, about 4 miles south of London. Hyde had reportedly been in some kind of altercation with another passenger, and the bus driver wanted her removed. When officers arrived, Hyde tripped and fell down when getting off the bus. Police determined that she had been drinking. She was charged with public intoxication and disorderly conduct.
A group in southern Kentucky is hoping to use an annual count of the homeless population as an opportunity to help that very community. Mark Barber has more from Laurel County.
Every year, the state counts the number of people who are living in Kentucky without homes. But those who are taking that count here at this truck stop off of I-75 in Laurel County don't just want to write down a number and leave it there. So they say they are also handing out something warm to wear and hot to drink to those who really need it. With blankets, hats, and gloves, a community action group has set up shop outside the Pilot gas station in Corbin to help the homeless. They're here for something called K-Count, which means they're counting the number of homeless people in the area. But they're also hoping to do a bit more.
It's not a lot compared to the cold, but it could mean the difference between life and death.
Last year, they counted about 24 homeless people in the area. They say it's important to keep track because the federal government sends money to help them offer shelter and resources based on the number of people in need. Beverly Isom says they aren't just offering help to the homeless here.
We are going to actually not just stay here today. We're going to be participating by going out and getting under the bridges and looking for the homeless.
Volunteers are taking down as much information as they can about every person they meet because they hope to continue offering them help throughout the year. In Laurel County, Mark Barber, WKYT.
The Community Action Group will be set up outside the truck stop off of Exit 29 through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
What is your credit score? To some people, that 3-digit number can be more like a dirty word. If you want to make your score better, be careful because scammers can not only steal your information, they may also turn you into a crook. When trying to make a financial decision for the future, it's often financial decisions from the past that can trip you up. From buying a car to buying a home, lenders can see your decisions in a credit report, and some scammers see an opportunity. According to the Federal Trade Commission, there are a few easy ways to spot a credit repair scam. First, if the company asks for payment before they render any services. Also, if they ask that you do not contact the credit reporting agencies directly. And if they suggest giving false information when applying for a mortgage or a loan. Another troubling trend among credit repair scammers, the promise of an entirely new credit identity, which can unwittingly land a consumer in trouble with the law. You can spot these scams when a service suggests abandoning a Social Security number as a primary source of identification. and instead using a new number they assign and call a CPN for credit privacy number or credit profile number. In many cases, these numbers are stolen Social Security numbers, often from children, which is why they have a clean credit slate. And that can turn a consumer into an unknowing identity thief, despite their good financial intentions. Also remember, you can get your credit reports and credit scores for free. You're entitled to a free annual credit report from each of the major credit reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion.
A new store near UK's campus hopes to provide organic options for college students. We'll take you to Lucky's in about 6 minutes.
I'm Bill Bryant. It looks like Donald Trump is out, but Rand Paul is in. The presidential debate tomorrow in Iowa. Governor Bevin urging lawmakers to pass his budget. And another town expands alcohol sales. The bottom line is ahead.
And later, new proposed budget cuts for higher education as universities in the state wondering how they will manage. The story on the WKYT News coming up at 6.
For all your hearth and grill needs, shop barnhillchimney.com.
Now that we've added adjustable base, I can sit up without propping pillows up or having it just everything move around.
You don't have to do anything. It does everything for you.
You can read a book or watch your movies, get your taxes done, whatever. It's kind of perfect.
Change your sleep. Change your life. Change to Tempur-Pedic.
Sleep Outfitters offers 0% financing on every Tempur-Pedic every day at every location. Find your nearest location at sleepoutfitters.com.
Welcome.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? So today you're going to choose a mobile office. Okay. You can choose this Chevy Silverado, which offers built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi, or you can choose this Ford F-150, which doesn't offer Wi-Fi. But to make up for it, we added a trailer, a satellite antenna, and Dolores.
Hey, fellas.
What? So which one do you want?
I'd pick the Chevy.
Definitely.
Or get this dependable Silverado All-Star Edition with a total value of $7,250. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
No two babies are alike. And no two birthing experiences are alike. At the Women's Hospital at St. Joseph East, we believe you should have your baby your way, with a birthing plan designed around you and a level 3 neonatal ICU. A personalized childbirth experience isn't just good for mom. It's good for baby. Kentucky One Health, the one name in healthcare.
Ram's continued leadership is eye-opening, like Ram 3500 with the best towing, best torque, the best payload, and Ram 1500 with the best fuel economy. It's no wonder more people are driving Ram trucks than ever before. Guts, glory, Ram.
Now returning FCA U.S. lessees get $12,500 in total values on the purchase of a 2016 Ram 1500 Outdoorsman Crew Cab.
Hi, I'm Lori McCreary, and I started my business 3 years ago. As a business owner, there's always this balance of great customer service as well as being able to provide a really good product. Not everybody has both. I knew that I could trust in Traditional Bank to help us figure it out, make the right decision, and then just come up with the funding that can help us really just grow and innovate. Traditional Bank is truly passionate about what they do for their customers and what they do for us, and that's seen every day when I walk in the door.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
The lineup for the next Republican debate gets a shakeup.
And Governor Matt Bevin releases his first budget proposal. Bill Bryant has the details in the bottom line.
Good evening. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul is in tomorrow night's Republican presidential debate in Iowa, and it looks like Donald Trump is out of the televised forum. Improving poll numbers for Paul mean that he has met the criteria set by the Fox News channel to appear on the main stage. Paul is also pointing to polls showing nearly 40% of likely caucus goers are uncommitted. Meanwhile, billionaire businessman Donald Trump indicates he won't be a part of the Fox debate. He has cited concerns with moderator Megan Kelly, whom today he called a lightweight reporter. The debate is tomorrow evening in Des Moines. Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin's budget proposal is now public and in the hands of lawmakers. It calls for $650 million in cuts, but it exempts K-12 funding, Medicaid, state police, social workers, and some other areas, and it adds spending for more public defenders, drug enforcement, and to test rape kits being held by investigators. Universities will be among those with a 9% cut. The governor says the cuts are necessary to put about $1.1 billion into the troubled state and teachers' retirement funds. In his budget speech, Bevin thanked state employees and the public for their input, and he asked that the suggestions keep coming.
Be patient with us. Continue to communicate with us. Think outside the box. Work collaboratively together. Be a family. Work with each other. Have each other's back. Let people all over America know that Kentuckians take care of each other.
Governor Bevin rejected out of hand the idea of borrowing to meet pension obligations, which has been proposed by House Democrats. Voters in London have fully ended decades of prohibition. Nearly 2,000 people went to the polls in yesterday's special election, and nearly 60% of them have voted to expand alcohol sales. Previously, London had only allowed restaurant alcohol. Nearby Corbett and Barberville are also now wet. All of Lexington's incumbent district council members filed for re-election. There will be no primaries, but there will be fall contests in the 2nd, 4th, and 12th council districts. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
A Kentucky lawmaker wants to return more power to the office of Lieutenant Governor. Representative George Brown Jr. of Lexington filed a bill today that would return the Lieutenant Governor as Senate President. Until 1992, the Lieutenant Governor served in that role, breaking any ties if necessary. The bill would be a constitutional amendment, so that would mean if it was passed by the legislature, it would then go on to the ballot for voters to make the final decision.
A new grocery store is up and running next to UK's campus with a focus on organic and local foods. Lucky's Market celebrates its grand opening not with a traditional ribbon cutting, rather a bacon cutting. The store prides itself with curing and smoking their own bacon. The manager says customers shouldn't be afraid of high prices when they hear the phrase organic foods.
We want those type of foods, organic foods, all natural foods, high quality foods. We want those accessible to everybody, not only preparation, but the pricing, the ability to purchase those for everyone.
During today's grand opening, Lucky's Market made 2 donations to local charities, Food Chain and Greenhouse 17.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Pretty quiet out there right now for you, and that'll continue through the rest of the evening, overnight, and end of the day tomorrow before we change things late tomorrow night. Let's look at some of the headlines as we move forward. Talk about a few flakes in the area on Friday. That's the next best chance of anything really coming together. And as we look at one of our models, you're going to see here that it's a little more active for our friends in eastern Kentucky. Our hour-by-hour forecast reveals that snow showers show up here for an extended period of time. Overnight, tomorrow night, basically going from about midnight until 6, 7 o'clock in the morning on Friday. So the snow will linger in this particular area before eventually completely wrapping up and just dying out completely. So you will track some flakes. Temperatures are also going to surge this weekend. We are talking daytime highs back in the 50s. Now, I know you think, that's not a surge. Yes, it is, compared to where we were this past weekend. Those low 50s are going to be spectacular. Look what's trying to happen out across western sections of Kentucky. That yellow shading, when you see that showing up on a map, that means that we're starting to talk about 60s in that area. So that's the first part of a surge, because we will eventually get in on the 60s within this 7-day forecast, because we have a big-time push of showers and thunderstorms that will come into the area next week. A big storm system will be moving across the country. Right now, it's a long way from here. It's nice and quiet on Defender Radar Network. We have our next player, though, the one that dives in and then gives us a little shot of some moisture as we go into the nighttime hours tomorrow, and more so, as I mentioned, into Friday. Here we go, hour by hour, area wide. There you see temperatures surging tomorrow into the low and mid 40s, maybe even some upper 40s. Certainly can't rule that out in some cases. Clouds start thickening up from north to south, though, as that energy dives in. That's when we break out into maybe a few showers, and then eventually it all makes that transition over to some snow. Best chances in eastern Kentucky as we go overnight and through the day. We will also get in on a few flakes around here as well before we get back into the daytime hours when temperatures are back close to 40 degrees during the afternoon and evening. Here's a look at one of our models, and I think it has a great handle on the situation. A little bit higher, and I'm not saying a whole lot, but a little bit higher across parts of eastern Kentucky, less than 1/10 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch perhaps in some cases out there. So overall, a pretty dry forecast. Here's our 7-day. As we move forward here, we're tracking a fantastic weekend. I mean, daytime highs in the 50s, but it's next week that's really going to have our attention because it has all kinds of potential with a system that will roll in here, sparking showers and some thunderstorms, a big swath of snow. I mean, this is a big-time storm system that we are going to be tracking as we go into next week as well. So we'll watch that one as we have all kinds of activity tied to it. And there you see some more of the warmth beyond that, too. And then, of course, the cooler shot of air that gets in here for next week as well. But let's just focus on the weekend.
Yes.
Because it's spectacular.
And a break for you guys in the weather department for a little bit, right?
Yeah, we need this. You know, I lived here for a while, and now I can go home again. Yeah. It's fantastic.
Put your cot away.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Brian.
A couple of things working right now as we get an all view of Lexington rush hour traffic in real time this afternoon. One trouble spot, Alexandria Drive and Greatstone. That is an injury collision, and police continue to work there, trying to clear that intersection for us. There's another crash at South Broadway in Virginia. No one's hurt in that wreck, but one lane of South Broadway remains blocked. Drives times not impacted because of the collisions. Outbound Versailles Road toward Versailles looks good past the airport. Also into Paris, no major problems on US 60 into Winchester. Now back to you in the studio.
Brian's back, and tonight it's the Cats and the Missouri Tigers.
A Missouri team which is playing a little better but still struggling, and it has taken longer than UK fans wanted, but the Cats' chemistry is coming together at the right time. Sports is next.
Mother will love and accept you no matter what.
No matter what. The inside was working for the kill list. Mother was right about you. I don't want to hurt you.
What more could a mother ask for?
New Criminal Minds. Then a threat grips the ER.
I cannot work on your son until everybody puts their guns down.
And one doctor will pay the price. Code Black after Criminal Minds, new CBS tonight.
While some airports offer a few flights to a few places a few days a week, Louisville International offers daily flights to more of the places you want to go. You can get there from there, eventually. Or you can see where we can take you. Visit us today.
Brutal blizzard this weekend.
Other polar vortex coming.
Snowpocalypse.
Winter is here. Are you ready? No matter what winter throws at you, you can power through it. Nissan's family of crossovers with intuitive all-wheel drive. Bring on winter. For a limited time, choose the 2016 Nissan Rogue, just $199 per month, or get a $289 per month lease on Pathfinder. Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com.
Kentucky schools are not failing.
We can't be failing. If more students are graduating from high school, more students are making proficient advance in the state-mandated testing.
We have successes in our school every single day.
Whether students love or hate science, I'm going to work with them to make sure that they get what they need from my class to be successful once they leave my class.
Come see the awesome work our students are doing, and you'll see success.
I wasn't too thrilled about dentures, but I need to be able to chew. So I called Aspen Dental. They got me right in because my visit was long overdue. And no one on staff even made me feel bad that I hadn't been in since the leg warmer fad. My new dentures came with a great guarantee, so this giant pretzel's got nothing on me.
With dentures starting at $3.99 and a money-back guarantee, dentistry's never been easier. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL.
The candidate from Cartown Kia can give people $8,000 off new Kia Optimas. What can you offer?
Well, we have yesterday's coffee.
There's no debate. Get $8,000 off MSRP on all select new 2015 Kia Optimas in stock at Cartown Kia. Take home a new 2016 Kia Sorento SUV for only $189 per month. And if you have a job bringing home $350 per week, we want to approve your credit.
We can do credit. We don't do credit.
Don't debate it. Get to Cartown Kia.
Game days are here, and Perry's American Furniture has everything you need to celebrate with the cats in style. TV, consoles, and entertainment centers, dining tables, a comfy couch to watch the game on, Come see us at Perry's American Furniture Gallery, 1176 Industry Road.
Give us 5 minutes to make your life easier. MomsEveryday.com.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. WKYT.
The Cats are anywhere from a 17.5 to 19-point favorite tonight against the 8-11 Missouri Tigers. Every game can be a learning experience for Kentucky with so many youngsters on the squad. Consistency is a word which seems to be brought to the forefront time and time again.
The consistency is always an issue with freshmen, not just from game to game or practice to practice, but possession to possession. And again, it goes back to those guys usually are so talented in high school that you can take every other possession off or every third possession off and you'll still be okay because you're just good enough. At this level you can't. The coaches are too good and the players are too good.
It's no secret Kentucky fans have been spoiled by the embarrassment of basketball riches from the distant past to the recent past, and they can be impatient a little bit, but for every team it takes time to come together. This year's UK squad thinks things are coming together right now.
Yeah, it is, because we're all coming from different places where we all was the man wherever we came from. So, I mean, just trying to get everybody to come together and just talk together as a team was one of the big things that we tried to get accomplished. And I think that when we do that our defense is better, our offense is better, and we're playing much better.
And over the last 2 games, Kentucky has been playing much better. It's the Cats and the Tigers tonight from Rupp Arena. It's the late game on the SEC Network starting at 9 p.m. If the NBA season were to end today, Sports Illustrated says former Wildcat Karl Anthony Towns would win Rookie of the Year honors over Knicks big man Chris Porzingis. Towns and another former Wildcat, Nerlens Noel, today were named to the NBA Rising Stars Challenge game during the NBA All-Star Weekend, both named to the U.S. team as well. Towns is one of only 3 NBA players averaging 16 points, 9 boards, and 1.5 blocks. Anthony Davis and Pau Gasol are the others. Noel's the only NBA player averaging a block and a half plus a steal and a half per game. It's all about the numbers. The UK women are back on the Memorial Coliseum floor where they host Vandy tomorrow night. Matthew Mitchell said today one of his biggest concerns is team defense. Mitchell says because his team does not block many shots, he'd like to see his players take more charges in the paint.
One of the most important parts of our defense that needs to be addressed right now is positioning. And so if you're hugged up with your player and you're not seeing the ball, you can't take a charge. So that's a real problem. And if you're not tough enough to take one, that's another problem. We need to out-tough people. We're going to have to out-tough Vanderbilt tomorrow night. If we don't play tougher than them, they'll beat us.
And there were a lot of charges in that UK Ole Miss game the other day. The UK ladies at home tomorrow night at the Coliseum, 7 o'clock on the SEC Network against Vanderbilt. That's sports. We'll be right back.